Everybody, and welcome back to Superhero Speak. I'm your host, Dave.
And I'm the other guy, Don.
That's right, it's 2026. We're
Back
back.
at you.
We're right back. We're gonna got lots of things to talk about. We've been gone for a minute. But yeah,
Back
we
like
are
a vertebrae.
back. That's bad. What are we talking about? What has happened since we've been gone? Oh,
A lot of cool stuff.
a bunch of trailers came out for Doomsday, and then we had some comic book news with some different people. Gail Simone and Batman, Absolute Batman's killing it. We
Of
got
course.
some news about the Batman 2. Some Marvel stars headed over there, and some interesting Star Wars news that I know you want to talk about. So we'll get into all of that.
Oh, yeah.
But as I said, we've been off for 2 weeks as we do every year. We're back. How are you, sir? How was your holidays?
Yeah, boy, my holidays were real interesting. Starting off with almost getting into a fight Christmas morning with the head chef of my second job. Hence, I don't work there anymore. So my third job is now my second job.
Oh,
All things worked out for the better, though. But yeah, that was the whole thing. And outside of that, then yeah, we got the COVID, we got the vid. Actually, what's been going around here
yeah.
is you get like the vid and then the flu and then the cold. You get like three things in the span of 3 weeks. So my kids have not been back to school yet.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But outside of that, though, I mean, here we are. I got, some cool Christmas Final Fantasy goodness. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles already finished the first Final Fantasy, which, is only like 16 hours. But then this Final Fantasy Tactics Infamous Chronicles I've been playing, boy, is that great. In fact, they didn't know how it was going to do sales wise, and it's sold so much. It's that they're now thinking of a sequel. They're going to do some like DLC for this game, so I'm excited about that indeed. And then I'm looking forward to 2026. We will get into it because we've got some great Star Wars stuff. It's going to be, I mean, I will be insufferable, I'm sure. And then it's going to get capped off by Doomsday, which looks to have some really, really juicy stuff. So just excited. But of note, just for those of you that use SteamYard, which is what we use to kind of host the show. So of note, just just know that it's no longer SteamYard. They're going to their parent company, which this is why I'm saying this because it's interesting. Their parent company is Bending Spoons USA Inc. That's funny. Bending Spoons. That's now who owns SteamYard.
We'll be bending spoons here every week. Wow, did not actually. That's funny because I didn't read any of the any of the updates. So
yeah,
I didn't realize. Interesting.
yeah.
Hopefully that does
Public
not
service
affect us.
announcement for you. No, it specifically says that it's not. But
Okay.
it's just funny that it's Bending Spoons US Inc., which I guess suggests there's a Bending Spoons UK or something possibly.
Yeah. Or
Global
Bending Spoons
conglomerate of
China.
Bending Spoons. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
What about you, man? How's your holiday, New Year's, 2 weeks off?
God, it's a blur in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
It was good. Yeah, everyone that I live with got sick as well.
Okay.
I don't have kids in school anymore, so
Yeah.
thankfully, though I haven't seen my daughter yet because her whole crew, we were sick, so she didn't want to come, and then she was going to come, and then her whole crew got sick. So they're supposed to come next week. So that's good. I have all her Christmas presents are sitting in the living room still for the girls.
Yeah.
So yeah, and but I had a good time with the girlfriend and my family and my son. So that was good. But some other things kind of my if anyone who's watching who knows, normally there's a brick wall behind me with my paintings on it, and that kind of fell apart literally a half hour ago before we went live, and I'm like trying to put it back together, and it just was not working out for me. Um, oh, hello, James. And
Hey, James.
so I just this is anyone who recognizes this. When I was in my old house, I had this hanging over my window, so it was part of the backdrop then. So I was like, I just it's a big enough painting. I just grabbed it real quick and threw it onto the frame. But yeah, I'm gonna need to spend some time um working on that this week and figuring out how to recreate it so that it doesn't fall apart on me again. Um oh, that's the other thing. So people may have noticed I forgot to shut them off. We had some live streams while we were off. We had a big long holiday live stream for a few days, and
Mm-hmm.
we have these bots that will comment and do stuff while we're live. And this one is Stream Elements, and it sends a thank you up whenever someone subscribes while we're live. So
Nice.
thank you to those who just subscribed. I
Shiva Gamer 338 and Mita Chakra. All right. Yeah. Thanks for
yes,
subscribing.
yes, thank you for subscribing. Speaking of subscribing, I did want to mention this at the top of the show. We 2025 was a great year for us. Um, we hit we gained 53,351 subscribers,
Yeah.
where we gained 18,000 in 2024, and in 2025 we got 1,090,000 views on all our videos and shorts, where we only had 435,000 the year before. So we grew a lot last year, and we're hoping to grow some more. And as every little subscription helps, so thank you. Hoping to hit that 100,000 before the summer goes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, yes,
That is a
thank you.
lot, man.
Yeah, and so yeah, we are
I'm
we are
just
on our way.
happy that happened. I'm not taking credit for that
No,
whatsoever.
it was all you.
I'm just glad you didn't crater, when you went from you, JD, and John to you and me. I was
Ah,
like, oh my God, like if the channel just completely dies, it's completely my fault. And that didn't happen. So thank
yeah.
you all for making that possible.
Yes, thank you for keeping Don employed. um. So yeah, so it was that's the thing. It was like I was looking at the numbers over the break, and I saw that, and I'm like, oh wow,
Yeah.
I was shocked. Um. Damn, Don. Um. And of course, I'm sorry we don't have more people watching because there currently aren't any games. I don't think.
Yeah, it's the Steelers and whoever, but yeah, Steelers in Houston, which is
Okay.
Pittsburgh and Houston. Yeah, oh yeah.
Who cares about those guys? Come on.
Well, that's a great thing about being a Browns fan. Your arch rival, the Steelers. The one's always in the playoffs. That's fun.
Well, the Eagles are officially done. They just lost to San Francisco,
Yeah,
19 to
but
23. Yeah.
yeah, you guys are gonna want to crucify somebody here in the next 24 hours. I'm sure. As a winning season and going to the playoffs is only going to anger you,
This is
so privileged that I commented on the game and I'm like, he's certainly got to be watching it, and you weren't. You're like, oh, what game? Oh
no,
my
because
God,
I knew before we went in the playoffs, I'm like, oh, they're back to old form, which
old
is
form, winning and going to the playoffs every year,
going
old
to the
form.
playoffs, but losing in the first or second round of the playoffs. So, you know, that's exactly what they did. I didn't think they were going to beat San Francisco, to be honest, because um, San Francisco is had a much better record than Philly this year. So that was like, they're not going to win this. That's why I'm not going to even bother watching it. So yeah, maybe next year we'll get to the Super Bowl again. Who knows? All that really matters is Kansas City is not in it this year, and as long as As long as New England
No,
doesn't make it either, I'll be happy.
yeah, no Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl. No, of course, Travis and Taylor, we call them Trailer. No trailer at the Super Bowl this year. That'll be nice.
Unless I go to watch it, which I doubt. But the thing is,
Oh, you're right. That could happen. They could be in the crowd, and yeah,
I made a joke when they got engaged. And, this is going to be a big distraction to Kansas City. And oh my God, they had such a terrible season.
Yeah.
I should have put money down on it, man.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't have thought that they would be like eliminated. Not even, I think they go to the Super Bowl again, but no.
So, yeah. All right. Now, there is something else I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, enough football talk. We're fucking
enough
nerds.
Football.
Let's go.
Enough football talk. Let's get somewhat political. I'm going to avoid some of the hot topics. But I have been thinking about that in the sense of like, even like nerd podcasts that I listen to still throw politics in every once in a while. So, and this is kind of like the thing that made me go, I want to say a couple of days after Christmas, I listened to podcasts when I'm on a walk, and I'm listening to a podcast that will remain nameless. And they were making a joke and talking about the topic they were talking about. And someone brought up Elvis, and then one of them was like, that racist. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I have never. Oh wait, I need to do this up. I have never
heard. Warning, political rant.
I have never heard all my years on this planet, and I have many family members, including my late father, and so on, who are huge Elvis fans. So I'm familiar with who he was, his work. I've watched biographies and stuff, and I'm like, I've never heard anyone call Elvis racist before. And so I did a little digging, and apparently in the early 2000s, something came out. Some comments were made by somebody saying that he was racist, but then it was quickly debunked. Like, no, that wasn't true, because anyone who's an Elvis Presley fan knows that, like, he was influenced by black singers. It's one of the reasons people were afraid of him, because he sung like black singers of the time, and yet he had an appeal to white folks, and it's what brought rock and roll to the forefront and all of this stuff. He worked with many black musicians over the years. Like never ever was he called racist ever. So, but it made me realize something. Like, and this is the actual point I wanted to get to, is that we live in a world where we have access to all of the information ever on in our hands, on these little devices that we carry around with us, and
more power than empires that ruled the earth had in our
yes, and but people just want to believe what suits their worldview. So if you have a worldview that people from the South in the 30s and 40s were just racist, then Elvis was racist. And if you hear that from something, that's it. That is your worldview. And it doesn't matter if it gets debunked. It doesn't matter if you hear a counterfact later on. This supports my worldview, and I'm going to believe that. And I'm feeling more and more that's the world we live in. Like, it doesn't matter if the truth comes out, if more information comes out later that disproves the original thought. If the original thought proves my worldview, that's all that matters. I don't care about anything else that comes on. And that, boys and girls, is what scares me so much going into 2026.
Well, there's a lot to be scared of. People do like to go into their thought and mind silos, and the internet is perfect for that, because those silos can actually develop, gather followings and whatnot, and there you go. You've got a place where everybody knows your name and thinks like you. very comfortable.
Yes.
I think really the most, I don't know how scared I am of this. Maybe I should be scared of it. I just kind of like acknowledge it and don't do it. But misinformation. People derive a lot of data and what they perceive as correct from the internet when there is clearly uh, a, programs, things to be gained, people specifically on the internet to put out misinformation. And so, we're in an age now where, you're sitting down, you're taking a shit, you're doom scrolling through Facebook, and you see, oh, Trump's going to give away $2,000. And then all of a sudden that's, that's what you think. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but what I'm saying is a lot of misinformation is out there. I mean, there's been 800 stories about Browns looking for a coach, and they offer Jim Harbaugh $100 million a year, and Jim Harbaugh's not interested at all. And it's just, me personally, I don't believe anything unless I get it from the source or I can get corroborating data from different sources. And I get it. Who's got the time for all that? So that's why I kind of disregard a lot unless I really, really care.
We've been doing this show for a long time. And even in entertainment news, some quote unquote insider leaks and something, and it's everywhere. And yet, and everyone who wants to believe it believes it. And then it'll come out later that it was false. And then they'll just the people that believe it will turn around and go, oh, well, they're just saying that now to save face. The most perfect example is Kathleen Kennedy and her people wanting her out of the head of Lucasfilm. And how many times in the last 2 years have there been news articles about she's out, she's done, she's retiring? There is a current rumor. I didn't include it in tonight's show. There is a current rumor that she will be stepping down this year and that Filoni will be taking over. But that was a rumor last year, and she came out and said it wasn't true.
Well, what's interesting about that, though, is the rumor that I'm seeing is that Dave Filoni is going to co-president with another person, Lin-Wen Brennan.
Okay,
which is interesting. But anyway, yeah, you're right.
Then there could be a kernel of truth to it. Who knows? But like you said, until Kathleen Kennedy makes an official announcement, or Lucasfilm or Disney makes an official announcement, we don't know. And that's really just the truth. We don't know until we hear something official. But people hate Kathleen Kennedy, so they want her out, so they're going to cling to it. And then you got 500 websites like We Got This Covered. I don't even know if they're a site anymore. Putting up this article and saying, "Oh, this is happening. This is true." 20 YouTube channels do a video on it saying, "Oh, look, they're finally listening to their fans." And it's like, are they? Do you have proof, or this is just what you want to see? So, I guess my thesis here, my summing up is don't believe everything you see. Kind of try to get all sides of a story. And if you can't find a definitive answer or something from the source, don't believe it until you hear from the source or hear a definitive truth. Maybe it'll make the world a little better. Because I've said this too, and you were bringing it up too, where the internet was supposed to be the great equalizer and the thing that brings the world together, but because of social media especially, everyone's got their own little pockets and hang out with the people that believe the way they believe, so it's actually divided us more. And it's just getting worse. So
I mean, if there's people on this earth that like to eat poop, there's an internet group somewhere where all those people have gathered, probably sharing pictures, real bad shit.
There are people who believe the world is flat. That's all I'm saying. So, all right, rant over for now. I have other things I want to say, but maybe we'll save that for when the Civil War starts.
Well, Oh boy.
Speaking of dark times and things that we need to worry about, our good friend Darth Don is here to tell you where you can find more superhero speak.
Darth Don here. And you must subscribe to Superhero Speak if you haven't already. And if you have already, make another account and subscribe again. You also will like this video. And while you're on the HoloNet, go to superheroespeak.com. Find the links to our merch and purchase one of our shirts. Don't skimp on the shipping, or else I will trap you in a box with an agitated gundog named Brie Lawson. I would just force lightning you, but we don't have that in the effects budget. Now, back to the show.
Also, I forgot I wanted to say this. Going forward, I think it's safe to say the audio version of the show is dead. Because I don't have the time right now to edit it and put it out there every week. We don't really make any money off the audio podcast, and we're just trying to get more people to watch it. So if you're a fan of the audio show and you're watching this, just keep it tuned right here, whatever platform you're currently watching this on. That being said, I will also make sure going forward, because I haven't been doing this, that every week, the day after the show, this will get published onto our website to help get the website traffic back up and get people finding us more. So that's all. Yeah. So yeah. Sorry, audio listeners. Maybe if we start making a lot of money off of this and I can make it my day job, we'll go back to the audio, or if I can find someone to do it for free. All right.
Hot take. I think that form of podcasting, I don't want to say is dead, but there's just everything, is video now. It's the new TV, YouTube. I mean, even if you don't want to look at our faces, which I completely understand, you still can listen to it just like you could a podcast. So
yeah, if you're a YouTube premium member, you can open this and minimize it and do other stuff and listen to it on your drive still. Like you don't have to.
And if you're not like me, you can just leave it open, put it on whatever holds your cell phone while you drive. It works just fine.
Right, and just listen. You don't have to watch because I mean, you might want to look at our pretty faces. Maybe our wives and girlfriends might feel like that. All right.
Yeah.
We're actually starting this return 2026 with some comic book news, Don.
Yeah.
Comic book news.
Comic books. Let's go.
X-Men comic book news. So Gail Simone, who is currently writing Uncanny X-Men over at Marvel, posted a question to her fans on X, and I think we need to discuss this very question. And she said, I don't understand why people don't like Cyclops. Which made me go, have you read an X-Men comic in the last 30 years? So, I mean, I'm sure you have some history for us and some strong opinions on this, but unfortunately, Cyclops, I want to say, was never a strong character, in the 80s at least, and then the 90s he kind of faltered even more. And I think part of the problem with him is like he wasn't that interesting, and his power was just his concussion beam, and it was like, who cares about Cyclops? And then what was it, early 2000s, they kind of tried to make him a little harder edge and a little bit of a jerk, and he's done some questionable things.
I say he was a straight up terrorist at one point during. Yeah, sure.
I said questionable things.
during the Bendis Uncanny X-Men run,
Yes.
if you could believe that.
So like they kind of turned him into an anti-hero to try to make him interesting, and I think that wasn't a good thing. But maybe I'm wrong.
Very complex subject.
James says that Cyclops is a jerk.
So let me break in and start with numero uno, Gail Simone.
Okay.
So this is something that she does on Twitter, which she asks obvious questions, and she gets a lot of an annoying engagement from it because there's a lot of people on Twitter that don't like her writing X-Men. So it's like she plays this little cat and mouse game to get engagement, to act like she acts like what they must think she is, which is like this clueless X-Men person. So this is the sort of question that, to me, in my experience following her on Twitter and seeing what she does on Twitter, it's kind of an antagonistic question because people do like Cyclops a lot.
Well, it's funny because this goes back a little bit to what I was just saying in my rant, is that how do I put this? Part of the problem with the internet, and I think Gail Simone is a great example of this, unfortunately, people do things just to get engagement. So if she can get people commenting on her post and liking it, it's going to get bubble up in the algorithm and she'll get more people to follow her. But yeah, you're right. It's like it's an obvious clickbait. So go ahead.
Mm-hmm. But at the question at hand, Cyclops was a Boy Scout.
Yes.
Throughout his run up until he becomes edgier in the early 2000s. And to the mainstream non-X-Men fans, whatever you want to call them, they don't like Cyclops because of how they were introduced to him. They were first introduced to him in the X-Men animated show, probably, as far as mainstream people. And he was, Wolverine was great. Everybody loved Wolverine in the comics. So in this new show, the Cyclops Wolverine beef gets turned up to 11. And they even show Cyclops decide to leave Beast and Morph behind. So they didn't really sell Cyclops as a cool guy to us.
Yeah.
In the 90s. It was just, this guy with the head condom that shoots laser out of his eyes. Of course, that's not his look for the X-Men animated series, but anyway.
Yes.
And then we get the movie, right? And then again, how do they sell Cyclops to us? He's very straight edge, beefing with, the Hugh Jackman Wolverine, the star of the movie. So we didn't see
in the
tactician shit. Go ahead.
In the movie, they made him a teacher's pet type character who was just like, well, these are the rules and this is why we do what we do, kind of like blah 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 blah. Like they didn't want you to like him, I think.
Which is not unholy. It's not fully inaccurate. But that's really only one phase of Cyclops. See, the thing that makes Cyclops cool is his leadership, his tactician ability. The fact that he doesn't shoot lasers out of his eyes. They literally open up to a dimension that just burst out concussive energy. But not only can he do that, but he's also like the master of angles. Captain America has the same power that he uses with his shield. Like Cyclops is like so good at shooting that shit at certain angles and knowing where it's going to land that he could decapitate himself with his own blast if he wants to. So you saw a little bit of that in X-Men 97. X-Men 97, Bo DeMeo did a really big effort, and he did a great job of actually showing why Cyclops is cool.
Yeah.
Which is the instant, tactician ability that he has in his leadership. But then we get to a point where Xavier falls from grace. the thing that really pissed off Scott Summers in the case of Professor Xavier is we all know that Scott has a brother, Havoc, but he also has another brother, Gabriel Summers. And then if it turns out that, because Xavier likes to form new X-Men teams real quick to send them to go rescue the old X-Men team. And one time he did this, but that secret X-Men team had Gabriel Summers in it, and they sent Gabriel Summers in, and he got fucked up. But he never told Cyclops, "Oh yeah, by the way, you have a third brother, and I just put him on this X-Men team." So once Cyclops found that out, that's where the rift, where he really started growing from the Boy Scout to something else.
Yeah.
But the problem is that he kind of does shady shit right like Xavier would have done. And that's where schism happened. And that's where Wolverine and Cyclops have this big fight, because Wolverine is like, you're sending these children out to war. And at the time, Cyclops is kind of kooky dukes because of the whole House of M, no more mutants, goes down to 198 mutants. Now all of a sudden, Scott Summers is like in survival mode. And I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I can to help mutants survive. Hope Summers is born. Then it becomes all about making sure she's okay, because she's like this new mutant messiah that means we're going to get born again. And so, and then it all ends with him dying in the Inhumans versus X-Men because of the M-Pox. Their Terrigen Mist went around fucking up mutants. And then, I don't know, then poof, he gets revived in Matt Rosenberg, and then we go to House of X, and they don't even explain how the fuck he goes from, militant mutant leader to, oh, I like Professor X again, and I'm going to listen to whatever he says. They don't even explain it. They just let Jonathan Hickman come in. But anyway, so in short, they don't show the cool Cyclops aspects, and so the mainstream has really been sold a prickish version of Cyclops. So he's popular, but not to the mainstream. But again, Gail Simone knows that. She's just asking an antagonistic questions that she expects the chuds and those that just don't like her. I'm not a big fan of her X-Men writing either, but I'm not going to get bothered over it anymore. But she just takes advantage of those clicks. But Cyclops is cool. They just haven't shown a bunch of the cool shit to the mainstream. Very complex character. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, because I'm not a chud, but I am more mainstream because I wasn't a big X-Men reader. However, I feel like, okay, so like, yes, there are reasons Cyclops, you said the version we got in the first movie wasn't far from what he was in the comics, but there were reasons that he was acting that way. But they don't explain that in that movie. It's just kind of like, oh, here's this dork, and we just got to deal with him in the movie. Or if they gave him more of a backstory. So I'm kind of curious, and we'll get into this when we talk about the trailers a little bit, but do you think bringing him into Doomsday and bringing the X-Men into the MCU, but specifically we know Cyclops is going to be in Doomsday at this point, this is a chance to kind of redeem him in the general viewer's eyes, and like make him like the standout hero for the X-Men in this?
I don't know if they'll ever be able to make him the standout. It's pretty hard to do that when you're standing alongside Wolverine, Storm, Gambit, Rogue. But I would at least hope they would attempt, though, to just show the cooler aspects of him, to show his leadership, that he is a badass. He does know how to fight. He does do heroic shit. Yes, he's unlike Wolverine, but in the comics, they hate each other, but they have ultimate respect for one another as well. Like, they personally just don't get along, but Wolverine has no problem. Doesn't need to think about it for 1 nanosecond when it comes to fighting back to back with Scott Summers. He'll do it every day of the week. So, you know, I love that aspect.
James says next to Gambit, Storm, and Rogue, he'll always look like a jerk.
Yeah, for the most part.
All right. James also said something interesting here that I think we need to address. Where is that? And he listens to NSYNC. Are we saying that jerks listen to NSYNC? Do the cool guys listen to Backstreet Boys or New Kids on the Block? Like I'm lost here, James. Who should he be listening to if he shouldn't be listening to NSYNC? We need to clarify. This is important information.
I'll tell you what, though, I'm not worried about what kind of music Cyclops listen to. I'm just worried that like he's always the person like driving like an X-Men 97. He's got that Porsche and stuff, but he wears a red visor. Like, how does he see red lights? Seems like it'd be dangerous. That's what I'm concerned about when it comes to Cyclops. No one cool listens to boy bands. I absolutely agree, James. I do absolutely. No cool. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
I don't know. I don't want to offend anyone who's listening. You might listen, or watching. You might listen to boy bands. But that's why the lights are always in the same order: green, yellow,
I know.
red,
I know.
Colorblind people to be able to see the red lights. Okay.
I know.
Oh, see, James says the same thing. That's why they're always in the same place. Yeah, that's why you don't go to like Pennsylvania to Ohio and then in Maryland are flipped. Could you imagine? It'd just be terrible.
Oh boy.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking. Oh no, that's right. I forgot about this. We got the full Wonder Man trailer.
Oh, I mean, is this like some news, Dave, or is it some news?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna make you happy. We haven't done it in a while. Here we go.
All right.
Best 25 cents I ever spent on the internet. No.
Oh yeah.
So we got over the break, the full Wonder Man trailer came out. Wonder Man obviously will be out the end of this month on Disney Plus. And of course, I'm sure we both had a chance to watch it at this point. Yeah, I mean, I think it looks fun. It looks like a fun show, but I don't think this ties into anything else. It doesn't feel like it ties into anything else, and it doesn't feel like it moves the MCU needle at all. And it like I'm gonna watch the show either way, so this trailer didn't do anything for me. It'll be like, oh, now I really want to watch it. But what?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I've said before, maybe I haven't said it, but officially I might find this one to be a bit of a chore to watch. This
Yeah.
series. Ben Kingsley being in this trailer a lot. It's like, okay, I think I'll get a laugh or two when I watch this. I think that this character is funny. I guess we're starting to see, at least the trailer did, they are answering my questions, because at first, like, what the hell is he actually Wonder Man? Does he have powers? So he's got powers, but no one could know that he has powers. So, that could be an interesting dynamic, but overall, I just thought, oh, okay, I might get a couple laughs, but I think this is still going to be somewhat of a chore to watch for me. Well, I'm open to being proven wrong.
My curiosity about the show at this point is like he lives in the MCU. He
Yeah.
lives in a world where there's heroes everywhere. So does he want to be an actor that bad that he's going to hide the fact that he has powers? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like my whole thing is there a reason he's hiding his powers? Is this the how do I put it? Is this the start of the concept of fearing and hating someone who has powers, i.e., mutants? And is this a backdoor to bring that into the MCU for the X-Men? You know, because other than that, it's like, why would he be hiding the fact that he had powers? Just because he wants to be in this movie, and they say that in the trailer, like, oh, anyone who auditions isn't supposed to have powers. It's like, okay, then don't audition because you've got powers. You can use your powers to make money. You can,
Yeah.
or go work for Shield and save people and get paid that way. Like, why? Or you just want to be an actor that bad? Like, and that's one of my fears is like if they don't have a better explanation other than he just wants to be an actor and be in this guy's movie and that's why he's hiding his powers, and it'll be like, that's silly, and this is a one-off silliness that won't amount to anything.
Yeah.
But if there's like an actual reasoning behind it, like, oh, okay, maybe this is important, so I don't know.
I'll keep an open mind.
Yes, we're going to keep an open mind, but I'm going to ask, like I always do, what do you guys think? Let us know in those comments down below. Do you want to see Wonder Man, and do you think it's going to have an impact on the MCU? So James says it's going to be a space filler, just like the comic, which is possible. All right, now we can talk about the big Marvel news. We had talked about before the break. We had got the Captain America teaser for Doomsday, right? That's
Yep.
There's nothing in it. You see Steve Rogers on a bike. He comes into a house. They show him with a baby. And that's it. That's the whole teaser.
He looks at his old suit.
He looks at his old suit. Yeah. And it's like, oh, Captain America, or sorry, Steve Rogers.
Steve Rogers, right.
Will be back in Avengers Doomsday, and then a countdown counter. And then we got the next trailer, which is Thor. Okay, that makes sense. And we have Thor in the woods, and he's basically praying to the All Fathers, because he's a Norse god. He's not a Christian. So you want to be praying to Jesus, or any of the other, or Allah, or any of them. And he's basically like, help me through this and help me get back to my daughter. His adoptive daughter from Love and Thunder, and so I can come back not to her as a conquering hero, but as still, stillness and warmth, as the loving father figure, which, okay, and that's it. And then it says Thor will return in Avengers Doomsday. So
short-haired Thor, which I have to know because I think it's a big mistake. I think long-haired Thor has much more appeal, particularly to the ladies. I know people that only care about the MCU if long-haired Thor is running around.
Yeah, but I do feel that's a Chris Hemsworth choice. Like, I think he got tired of wearing the wigs, and it's why for Ragnarok they did the whole thing where he shaved his hair and everything. Like, he wanted that for the character. So we'll see. As long as we're not going to get the over the top comedy that they tried to give us in Love and Thunder.
I don't think we're getting that at all. Don't worry about that.
So basically, these first two teasers kind of just show us where those characters are at, which is where we last saw them.
They both have some sort of situation going on,
right? But not only that,
connection there.
Yeah, there is a connection there. But you know what? I didn't even think of that till you just said that. But I'm just saying, it's like we saw him with a daughter at the end of Love and Thunder. We saw Cap back in the 40s or 50s with Peggy at the end of Endgame, and like, they were that was kind of their happily ever afters, and obviously whatever's going on interrupted that for both of them. And then we get the next trailer, which isn't a happily ever after situation at all. I'm sure this is the one you were the most excited about. But we get first off, it's a voiceover of good old Sir Patrick Stewart back as Professor X. I can't remember the exact line, but it's basically,
Well, it was more Ian McKellen, and
oh, is it Ian
was
McKellen?
like it's Ian
Okay.
McKellen saying the line, and I don't quite remember it either. And I
But
know
it's along the
something had to
lines
do
of
with-
everybody dies. It's just choosing who you are when you
right,
die.
when you close your eyes.
When you close your eyes is basically the line. It's like, oh, and we see the two of them together. It's like, and they're like shaking hands or whatever, like buddy buddy sitting in the X mansion. And then we get a shot of Cyclops,
James Marsden Cyclops.
James Marsden Cyclops, and he's like in the middle of like all this death and destruction, and he rips his visor off and full concussion blast blowing everywhere in the sky, and
a sentinel walking behind
there's
him.
a sentinel walking behind him. And then of course it says the X-Men will return in Doomsday. What does James say here? God, I just realized if Patrick Stewart, if we use Patrick Stewart when he really does well, get Executioner song.
No, I'm pretty sure this is the last.
This is definitely
role of Patrick Stewart.
Definitely, at least Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart. This is it for them. They're done after this. I have to believe at this point, both of those men are well past retirement age. They've done so much for the world of nerdom and their acting. Let them rest.
Yeah.
But
I also think Executioner song will not happen because that's more of a Cable Strife story. I get what you're saying there. I'm on your wavelength there, but I don't know.
He means when he dies.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a big one, Dave. I did not expect that. Remember when we were first, reporting on what we had learned, we were told that they were going to focus on Captain America, Thor, and then there was going to be an Iron Man one, and then there was going to be a fourth one that like encompassed on everybody. So the fact that they did this was really exciting indeed. Just to hear and see Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart, Professor X, they're all wearing comic accurate suits from what it looks like. To see James Marsden play Cyclops, it's got me real excited. To see the Sentinel. Although, is it a Trask Sentinel? Is it a Doom Sentinel? Tony Stark Sentinel? Who knows? I just, I have to quell my excitement a little bit here, though, because, just like you said, this doesn't exactly look like a happy ending. So this may not even be a large part of the movie. We might just see him die for 15 minutes.
Here's the interesting thing I wanted to say. The first two trailers, I get the feeling those scenes aren't even in the movie at all. Like those were filmed separately to be teasers, because it's just Chris Evans, on a motorcycle for a second, and then in his house looking at his old uniform and sitting there with a baby. Like, there's no need for any of that to be in the movie. The other one is just Chris Hemsworth in his costume in the middle of a forest praying, and just the voiceover. That's it. Like, that's, again, there's no sense for that to be in the movie. The X-Men one feels like those are actual scenes from the movie. If not, they put a lot into a teaser that like it's just like that won't be in the movie. I will also say this, it does lean into some of the rumors about the movie and the supposed leaked plot details. And you know, potential spoiler warning, but these are just rumors. That the movie actually starts with Doom with a bunch of Sentinels in the X-Men universe, basically like destroying the universe, like he
Yeah.
or so like that could be the beginning of the movie, so who knows. I don't think anyone wants. I mean, the thing is too, they're listed as main characters. No one wants to see them die right at the beginning of the movie. Like, you're not going to bring them back just to kill them off right away, but we shall see. I mean, they've all died already.
I mean, listen, we're talking about time runs out, Secret Wars, comic book
Yeah.
storylines here where incursions happen. And when an incursion happens, guys, basically, two Earths or two of the same planet kind of sit there for a number of hours. And if by the end of those hours, one of those planets aren't destroyed, then they both kind of get fucked.
Yeah.
So we're going to see destruction. And so I could easily see that just being some sort of montage about how the X-Men Fox universe goes through some sort of crazy event incursion. I don't know though. We'll see. I don't predict good stuff for the swan song of the Fox
Yeah.
X-Men here.
Yeah, which sucks because, Deadpool Wolverine was all about bringing a new Wolverine into the universe to save it because they
Yeah.
needed the anchor being to just have it be destroyed. It's like, that kind of sucks.
I mean, because ultimately, because like I said, I this whole if Robert Downey Jr. really ends up being Victor Von Doom, the Doctor Doom going forward, it's gonna fucking annoy me. And I just think he's too expensive for that to actually happen.
Right.
I really do think Doomsday is going to show us like this Robert Downey Jr. Doom variant. How look how badass he is. He went, he killed all the Kangs. He fucked up the X-Men. He's all look at him. And then at the end of this movie, the actual Victor Von Doom come and axe him. And so we instantly like, oh, holy shit. Okay. This Doom was badass, but this Doom just killed this other Doom. Like, I don't know. We that's what I'm thinking, man. Because this RGJ, he cannot be Victor Von Doom. It's the only thing that is creeping my crawl about this movie. Otherwise, I'd be very, very excited. I'm excited.
I think it is just the two movies, and then that's it. And then the fourth one has come out. It hasn't been officially released online yet, but of course the descriptions are everywhere because it's playing before the Avatar movie, which I'm going to talk about that in a second. This whole marketing scheme.
I got a question. Yeah.
But that being said, it's another, again, really quick. There's shots apparently of Namor and Namora, or however you say her name, the female Atlantean that was in Wakanda Forever. Yeah. And then there's a shot of Shuri and M'Baku walking down a hallway, and standing there is Ben Grimm, and M'Baku introduces himself as the King of Wakanda, which I find strange. I thought she was the queen now, but I don't know. Like, they didn't really say what happened to the kingdom after Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
And he said, and this is my Black Panther. And then, she gives the Wakanda Forever salute, and, and then of course, and then it says, Shuri and the Fantastic Four will be back in Doomsday, and then the clock starts. So, interesting, like, obviously we know all those characters in it. I don't know what that means for Wakanda. And they say that's right. It looks like the Namor is getting the Atlanteans ready to fight alongside the Wakandans. So obviously there's going to be some kind of big battle in this movie against Doom. So yeah, and I think from my understanding, it was just going to be 4 teasers. So that's it. There's 4 teasers. There's rumors online there's going to be more, but I think that's it. Until a full
I
trailer
mean, they
comes out.
rumored online that there was an extra episode of Stranger Things, and that didn't happen. So again, that the online rumors, man.
So, it's kind of like it feels like these teasers are just kind of like, here's where these characters are since Doomsday. I mean, since Endgame, right? And like, there's a big thing coming, and they're all gearing up for it, whatever that means.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Like, what do you think the strategy was here? Because I don't feel that I don't feel it told me anything that hypes me up for the movie, but I don't know.
Not that last trailer. I think that was not a good decision. You're not going to top that X-Men trailer. You're
You
not.
think that should have been last?
That absolutely should have been last. Absolutely should have been last, because this last one really, just for me, might not be a popular take, but it just reminds me of, like, really the piss poor state of affairs of the Wakanda part of the MCU story. Like, oh, it should be the Black Panther, not M'Baku and Shuri Black Panther. Like,
True.
that's so I'm so sad, because of the first Black Panther movie. Again, I'm on my show, my old show, Omega Level Nerds. I used to podcast with J100, who said this was Black Christmas, you know.
Yeah.
And we've just, and I understand, with Chadwick's death, like, this certainly is not on purpose, but he's just got to recast. This isn't working. It's not going to work.
No.
But yeah, now if this was Black Panther, Namor, and Ben Grimm, holy shit, that's fucking cool. I mean, but M'Baku and Shuri Black Panther, I just it and after an X-Men trailer, no, it's a
You
total.
might be a little biased about the X-Men, let's be honest.
Absolutely.
But
Very biased, but
I will say
to have the same vibe.
say that the first two and the last trailer all kind of have the same feel to them, where it's just kind of like, hey, remember where these characters were the last time you saw them? Where the X-Men has got like, oh my god, we're in for like some massive carnage, and the X-Men are going to be in the center of it, which I agree. Like, then that should have been the last one, unless you showed a big war between Atlantis and Wakanda or something. But we already saw that in Wakanda Forever. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, you're right. I agree. Like, it was a poor choice to make that the last one. So I have a feeling we'll get a more full length teaser at the Super Bowl at this point. So
yep.
Yeah. So and I think I know what you were going to ask about Avatar.
Well, yeah, like, so it's made a lot of money.
1.2 billion at this point.
Do you think that's because of these trailers? What do you think?
No. I don't think that at all, to be honest with you, because I think most people are at this point, when it comes to a trailer, they know that it's going to be released online, and even if it's a week after, they will wait the week to watch it. They're not going to run out and see this movie. I'm trying to find where's Box Office Mojo. Here it is.
What is Cameron's secret sauce thing? Because I don't get it, man. I don't get the Avatar thing.
But here's the thing I want to point out, and I think this is an important thing to point out about this movie and some other movies like this. And it's not. I mean, there's nothing to sneeze at. It made 342 million domestically, but made 888 million in the rest of the world. So that's why I don't think people went to see this because of the Marvel teasers, because I feel like that is something that American audiences would run out to do, but they're not going to go see this movie multiple times to see every teaser. But like the Avatar movies have a weird appeal in other countries. I mean, let me see if does it list. Does it go by country?
So all the other countries like unobtainium and think that's a swell idea.
Like France made 82 million in France and 64 million in Germany, and like I wish it listed it by amount, not by by country. I can't see any any standouts here. Oh, South Korea, 44 million. And I think that's what I was going to get at. Is that too bad John's not on the show anymore? I think movies like Avatar appeal to people who like stuff like anime, because I mean, as much as people want to say it was a live, no, it's not. It's an animated movie. You might have actors running around and doing the stuff, but at the end of the day, it's an animated movie. It's a cartoon. And I think it appeals more to people, and that's why it doesn't work for me. I'm not going to go and watch a movie like that in the theater. I've only seen the first one, and it was just Pocahontas in space. So I was like, I don't want to see any more of these. Like, it's not just because it looks cool. Well, that's not like, I need a good story, and I feel like that's those people who go to, in like, especially a lot of Asian countries and whatnot, who go to movies because of a spectacle, not because of a good story. It's why Godzilla is so popular in those countries, because
I mean, I can dig that. I like that. I'm that way too.
Yeah. So they want to see the spectacle. They don't care if there's a good story behind it. So
Star Wars is not popular for great writing, but it is
true.
It is a pioneer and trendsetter of visual art.
But I think it's better writing than Avatar. So
I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I don't think people went and saw Fire and Ash because of the trailers, but I do
think
the
people that wrote Avatar wrote Star Wars, it'd be called the Death Ball.
Yes, and they're gonna need their the lightsabers would be powered by obtainium crystals.
Yeah. Unobtainium dilithium core.
Yeah.
Get a little Star Trek in there, rip them off real quick.
So yeah, that's I don't know. I'm kind of curious though. People, you're watching this after the fact or whatever. Let us know, what did you think of the teasers? Did you go see Avatar or Fire and Ash just to see these teasers on the big screen? And
I mean, in all fairness, you could go see the trailer and then just like find another movie to wander into. I mean, you could kind of do that.
Yeah. I don't know what else was playing that people would want to go see.
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, there's a Hugh Jackman movie where he plays a Neil Diamond impersonator. So who knows? That might be a better movie than.
Oh, that's right. And isn't there like a Bruce Springsteen movie?
Oh, that's right. With the what?
The guy from The Bear.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm right.
No, Timothy Chalamet is playing. I think
that is Timothy Chalamet. No, see, I think it's another guy, but I confuse him with that dude all the time too. He's like a skinnier version of this dude, but they both got the nose anyway.
See, now I can't. Now I'm not sure. Oh man, Bruce Springsteen
Let's just
movie.
pause the YouTube show real quick.
Yes,
Do
yes.
some. So that's what we need. We need an on-air researcher, some on-air research chat modifier. If you're interested, message Dave.
Deliver Me from Nowhere is the name of the movie, and who is in it?
He's the
Deliver Me-
guy that's like looks like he's Gene Wilder's son, but I can't ever remember his name.
Jeremy Allen White.
There you go. He's like a dollar store Timothy Chalamet, you know.
Yeah, he was the guy from the wrestling movie. Yeah, right? Wasn't that the?
The Bear is a restaurant show.
Oh, right. No, but the Iron Claw. He was he was one of the brothers in the Iron Claw movie.
I remember you guys reviewed that.
Yes, that was a sad movie.
Yeah, I don't even think I watched most of that of
Zach
your guys' show.
Yeah, he was one of the brothers. Like, and that's all based on a true story. Oh, yeah. Such a sad movie. Anyway, yes, he's the one who plays Springsteen, not Chalamet. So, anyway, we got off track.
Well, let's dig out of that rabbit hole.
Star Wars. Oh, I hit a Star Wars vein.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, did we ever. This was 2026.
Before we even talk about everything coming out in 2026, we got to talk about what happened during the break. Apparently, the one, the only Tom Cruise showed up on set while they were filming Star Wars Starfighter, starring Zac Efron. And apparently he directed a scene or filmed a scene, Mr. Cruise, and then filmed a scene with a lightsaber fight scene.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be in Starfighter or not, but what do you think? Would you want Tom Cruise in a Star Wars TV show or movie?
Boy, I don't know. I'm pretty neutral when it comes to Tom Cruise there. I certainly don't have anything against him. But yeah, that's very interesting. Why would he visit a Star Wars set? And furthermore, why would someone just say, hey, here's the camera. We're going to do a lightsaber fight. Fuck it. Shoot it. But it's going to make it in there for publicity reasons. It is.
Well, I mean, the movie comes out not this year. It comes out in 2027. So it's early in production. So you kind of like, if this gets traction, will they actually make him a character, a cameo character in the movie? But here's my thing, and this is my issue, and a lot of people have this issue, I think, with movies. When you're Tom Cruise, when you're that big of a star and you show up in a Star Wars movie, 9 times out of 10, or any movie, 9 times out of 10, people stop and go, oh my God, that's Tom Cruise. And it takes you out of what you're watching,
Okay, yeah.
In fact, I'm going to be honest. I think one of the worst casting things ever was Jack Black in The Mandalorian. Like,
oh no, oh come on.
Like, that took me out of it because I'm like, oh my God, that's Jack Black, and this isn't something like he normally does. And you're waiting for the fart joke.
No, he didn't give a fart joke, but it was funny because he referred to this program, but he kept saying the program. It's like, oh, the program.
Look, I love Jack Black, but again, like,
his wife was Lizzo. I don't know, it was funny.
It's one of those things that just, like, it took me out of it for a minute, and I feel like, and I think it's 1,000 times worse when it's Tom Cruise shows up, and it's just like, it's fucking Tom Cruise. Like, he's not some Jedi, it's Tom Cruise. Like,
but what if they go with that though, right? Like, what if he's like a starfighter named Maverick? Like, come on.
It's like, it's like all these people who wanted Tom Cruise to play Iron Man, you
Yeah.
know, and I always thought that was a terrible idea. I still think it's a terrible idea. I do, however, would love him to cameo as an alternate Tony Stark in Doomsday, and you see his world get destroyed. Uh, but that's it. Like, leave it at that. It would be akin to Nicolas Cage showing up as Superman in the
Yeah.
Flash movie. Like, it'd be the same concept. But that's it. Like, if, like, okay, then it would make it funny. But like, to have him come up in a serious role in a Star Wars movie, it's just like, it's Tom Cruise. I don't know. There's a lot of people, believe it or not, that just can't stand Tom Cruise, and I don't know why. Like, and I think it's personal reasons. It has nothing to do with his acting. Like, he's a decent actor. I mean, I've pretty much enjoyed everything he's been in that I've seen. You
Yeah, I
know,
mean, the only thing weird that I've heard about him
besides the
is,
Scientology stuff.
well, and I could even care like whatever, Scientology, whatever, whatever. But when he was married to Katie Holmes,
Yeah,
like I used to hear things about, him kind of being pretty controlling about that situation. But yeah, outside of that, I mean, and he does his own stunts and fucks himself up in those Mission Impossible movies, which the last one did not make its cost back. Um, and they recorded him doing a speech before they started shooting that movie because they had like COVID regulations, and they're like,
yeah,
the industry's watching us right now. You better not. So it was kind of a douchey kind of move. So, and then he jumped on the couch. Remember the Oprah thing? Are you in love? And he jumped on the couch, and yeah, I'm in love. There was a controversy that he was gay, which has completely gone away. So that's kind of interesting. But the Katie Holmes thing is the only thing I've heard a little bit on the east side.
I don't know the whole thing. I mean, Katie Holmes obviously is younger than Tom Cruise, comes from a different generation, you know.
Yeah.
But I also have this like thing where it's like, hi, hold on. I have this thing where it's like there is an older mentality, and some men still have it today, even younger men. It's like the man is the head of the household, and the woman listens to the man. And I kind of feel like feminism, modern feminism, is like, oh no, the woman is her own independent, blah blah blah. Which, believe what you want, I don't care, but I feel like um a man will be in that situation and he's married, and it's like he says to the woman, like, you got to do this, you got to do that, and she says no. Oh, you're just trying to control me. And it's just like, it's just an old world mentality, which again some people still have, and I, in some cases, think it has served the world good for thousands of years. So like, um like, I don't fault him that way. But again, some people don't like that, so you don't like it, you don't like it. But I don't think he's a terrible person. I think it's just they didn't click, and it turned into a he said she said thing. And like, oh, he told me to do this and he said that, and it's like, oh, he's a controlling bastard. It's like, is he? Or he's just was raised in a different generation where the man was the head of the household and the woman did what the man said. So, but that's just me. I'm a little old fashioned at times too, so you better listen. All right. Rant over. All right. I love that button. So, but yeah, no, I think it's just because he's such a big star. Me personally, it'll take me out of the movie, but we'll see. Maybe it's just going to be a publicity thing to promote the movie, but who knows? But speaking of publicity and Star Wars in 2026, and I know you want to, uh, um,
oh yeah, man.
you want to talk about all this. We got three Star Wars projects in 2026?
I mean, there's all sorts of projects when you look at books but yeah, I mean, as far as major media, we got a movie coming out and that's Mandalorian Grogu. We got a show. continuing with Ahsoka season 2. My man Balin Skoll, now played by Rory McCann. He played the Hound in Game of Thrones. That's going to be fucking amazing. And then we got an animated series starring none other than Darth Maul. So yeah, man, I'm going to be eating so fucking good. And then let's not forget, and like I said, they're going to do books. So we got one coming out in 2 days. All right, let's not forget, Dave. In 2 days, we've got the Acolyte, book. It's called The Art of Star Wars: The Acolyte. So make sure that you order that. Barnes and Noble, Amazon. We don't have an affiliate link, but that'd be cool.
Don't get me started on space lesbians.
For all you Acolyte fans, 2 days from now, The
for all
Art of
two
Star
of you.
Wars: The Acolyte. For me and one other person. But yeah, man, I'm so excited because all that shit is gonna be fire. I know people seem to be cooling off a little bit from the Mandalorian, but I think they're gonna be right back in it. Yeah, man, I'm gonna be pretty fucking insufferable in 2026 when it comes to Star Wars.
I think the problem is when you have a whole year, basically a whole year off plus from that storyline, people cool off from it, like, because I kind of feel like they should have had it spread out more. I know you go into a movie, it takes more production and whatnot to get done, but and I'm sure Ahsoka is going to tie into it somehow.
Well, it's got all the Thrawn shit, and yeah, man.
So I kind of feel like maybe Ahsoka season 2 should have come out last year and then led into the movie, but we'll see. I haven't read much about the Darth Maul show. I guess my first question is, it's got to take when does it take place? Is it the original, before the original trilogy? I mean, I would have to imagine.
Yeah, because he dies before the original trilogy.
Is it? I thought he died.
No, he met up with Obi-Wan, older Obi-Wan.
It was in Rebels, right?
In Tatooine, yeah, in Rebels. But he was still just guarding Luke at that point. They even talked about it because Darth Maul even asked, is he the chosen? Darth Maul kind of figures out, like, why the fuck is Obi-Wan here on Tatooine just chilling? Oh, shit, you're protecting somebody. He figured it out. Now they have their duel, their 30-second duel. Obi-Wan absolutely owns him. But then as he's dying, it's really kind of a tender moment, actually. A really, really good moment. But, he says, is he the chosen one? He says, yes, he is.
Okay. Do you know who's doing the voice? Is it Sam Witwer who did it in the animated, in the Clone Wars? Or is it, okay, or
it's not Ray Parks.
It's not Ray Park. Okay. So they're keeping with the animated voice. All right.
Mm-hmm. But so, this is probably, and it's called Shadow Lord. Okay, so if I had to guess, it's probably between like the Clone Wars and where Rebels happens, because that's when he does start taking over like crime syndicates and shit, and comes like a big deal out in the fringe.
Would you want to see this tie into the Han Solo movie?
I would, because otherwise that's just a dumb, stupid loose
cameo
end
that made no sense.
Yeah, in fact, I think that's probably one of the express purposes of this series, and then focusing on his crime lord era, because that's what they were tying into with Solo.
Well, James loved Ahsoka. I did too. I thought it was great. I'm so excited for season 2. I want to see, what happens with Thrawn and whatnot.
Balin Skoll, Ezra Bridger. Yeah, man.
Yeah, because it ended with
It ended with Ahsoka and Balin Skoll, and I think somebody else, like off in the distant planet that they had to ride the whales to get to or
Right,
whatever.
right.
Now Thrawn is back in the main universe now with
Yes.
his zombie stormtroopers. I mean, they haven't revealed that, but you know, he's got the Night Sisters helping him. The writing's on the wall. And Ezra Bridger though is so where Ezra was chilling. Now that's where Ahsoka's at. Now Ezra Bridger and Thrawn are in the main universe, if that's how you want to call it, whatever.
So here's
And something's calling out to Balin Skull, and I think it's Abeloth. Google that.
I have a couple questions. Obviously, they're not going to fully follow Heir of the Empire. They're going to take pieces of it. That's what this whole I think Ahsoka is them taking pieces of Heir to the Empire and building the show around it. But of course we have we took I can't, you just said his name, Ezra, that's it, Ezra from Rebels, and brought him into, now we're in the time period that is post Return of the Jedi. So we have Ezra as a Jedi running around, and we've got Luke running around.
Yep.
Do we want them to meet up?
I do. That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be absolutely great. Yeah. I mean, he could continue his training because he wasn't fully trained before. Can't remember his name, unfortunately, which sucks. But it's Syndulla's ex-squeeze. It's the father of Syndulla. I don't know if you remember. She's the Green Twi'lek Captain General. No, Green Twi'lek General, and she had that son. That son's father was the Jedi. God, why can I not remember? He's in Rebels. He's the guy that trained Ezra Bridger. He was blind for anyway.
Yes. Yeah, well, he dies in Rebels though, doesn't he?
He does. He dies protecting everybody else.
Right.
Really cool Jedi character. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, God damn it, I'm pissed off at myself. But anyway, it's gonna be great. I'm so looking to the. It's to me the Ahsoka show has expanded a lot of cool lore shit. I feel Mandalorian does that too, but not as much as not as much as Ahsoka when you're dealing with the Night Sisters and the, I can't remember their names, the space warping whales, and there's just a lot of cool Jedi lore, Sith, whatever, just a lot of cool lore shit with the Ahsoka show.
And what do you think the Mandalorian Grogu movie, like, I'm not even clear on what the story is, you know, like the trailer doesn't tell you anything.
I mean, no. And where we last left off was basically like Grogu rejecting the Jedi way.
Yeah, they were
embracing the Mandalorian way.
They were sitting
but then
on
you had
their ranch.
Yeah.
Right.
They were given that parcel and that planet where Carl Weathers' character, the Grand Regent, whatever the fuck, he was given, you know, a place to kind of chill there. But at the same time, you know, you've got the Mandalorian shit happen with Bo-Katan Kryze, and they saw the fucking mythosaur. So they're really, to me, I think they're just gonna expand. I hope they expand and just get to a point to where Mandalore is a thing again, like it was in the Legacy books. But here's the thing: Boba Fett was the Mandalore, like the main guy. Like that's a position that's like almost like the king of the Mandalorians, the Mandalore. Boba Fett is the guy that eventually gets that all going again.
Yeah.
But now Boba Fett's now like sheriff of Mos Eisley or whatever the fuck now.
Right.
So I don't know, man. We just got there's a lot of Mandalorian loose ends. I think they'd have an easier time tying all that shit together on a show, but it's just a movie. So I'm actually very thrown off about what is the movie going to be about. Is it just going to be straight Mandalorian Grogu doing some cool shit for 2 hours? Maybe. Or are we going to explore more into the reviving of the planet Mandalore and establishing the Mandalorian orders and whatnot? I don't know. We'll have to see.
Well, we will
They're
see.
just planning on selling the Grogu merch. That's all they care about. You understand, like, Spaceballs, which is going to be a new Spaceballs soon.
Yes.
But you understand, Spaceballs was made because Mel Brooks actually asked Lucas, "Hey, can I spoof Star Wars?" And George Lucas says, "You could absolutely spoof Star Wars. Go right ahead, but don't you sell a motherfucking piece of merchandise. That's my business, motherfucker." So there's where, so don't worry about that.
Merchandising. That's where the
why
real money is made from the movie.
That's why he put that in the movie, because George Lucas said you could spoof Star Wars, but you can't sell a goddamn piece of merchandise. And so they put it in the movie.
Spaceballs the flamethrower.
Kids love this one.
Well, I guess we'll be enjoying all of that content this year. Of course.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be an
talking about
insufferable Star Wars fan.
All of that on the show.
Yep.
After we talk Wonder Man.
Yeah.
So, all right. I guess we need to go across the aisle over to the DC now. I guess we'll talk about comics first, since we are a comic podcast. You brought this to my attention earlier today. Apparently, DC is killing it in the sales area for comics. Of course, Absolute Batman is leading the charge. It's dwarfing. I was about to say warping, dwarfing like all comic book sales currently. The only
Even bringing the X-Men down.
I mean, here we go. Here's the top 10 graphic novels. So you got Absolute Batman Volume 1, Absolute Martian Manhunter Volume 1, Absolute Wonder Woman Volume 1, Absolute Green Lantern Volume 1, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, Absolute Flash Volume 1, Absolute Superman Volume 1, Last Dust of Krypton, Absolute Batman Volume 1, The Zoo, hardcover, DC Compact Edition Volume 22, Batman The Long Halloween, and DC Compact Edition Volume 2, Batman The Court of Owls. Like, the top 10 graphic novels currently are all DC, and yeah, like they are killing it. I believe the only book in the top 10 for Marvel from just comics I read was the the new Ultimates book. It was in the top 10. It was like number 6 or something, but everything else is an absolute book currently. So
yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. I mean, and they're doing numbers that comics haven't seen in a long time. Like, from my understanding, they're selling they're selling more books than they have in a long time. So like, people are loving these absolute books, and they're eating them up. And it goes back, I feel, before you give your input on this, I feel a lot of this goes back to something that we've talked about time and time again, and that is barrier of entry. So if you can read a new take on the DC characters, where you're reading a new origin, and you don't have to read 20,000, that's an exaggeration, you don't have to read 50 books to understand where you're at in this current story, then you're going to jump on. And we talked that we at least did talk about Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman on this podcast. They are all well written. They're interesting takes. I don't like the Superman one because it's so different from the Superman that I love, but that's neither here nor there. Like, Wonder Woman they're all really written well. It just wasn't my cup of tea, but like, I definitely continue reading the books. I like, and I'm sure that's what a lot of people are doing. Like, yeah, like you might love the Absolute Batman because that's the one that's selling out the most, or you're loving Absolute Wonder Woman. Like this is great for the comic book industry, but is it? Is this a flash in the pan? What do you think? What are your thoughts on these books selling so great?
No, I think this is great for the comic industry because I just like you said, the barrier of entry is low for these stories. You can jump in them. You don't need to know any other continuity to enjoy the stories. Yes, this whole absolute universe is Darkseid's invention, which I will talk about the meta of that here in just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to make sure I stress the importance of how much comic fans want stories that they can easily digest and not need to do like college degree course studies to understand where the character is and what the character's been through. So yeah, all the absolute stuff is selling well because it's they're all done relatively well and they're stories that you can jump into and understand. James is saying, "Who'd have thought make a good book sell comics?"
Here, I you know, I James, of course, I'm with you, and I agree with the sarcasm, and it's to a point. But here's something I wanted to point out to that. But they're great. They're good stories, but they're reboots of existing characters. They're not brand new characters. They didn't create a new Batman esque character for Absolute Batman and have it where like he's this mortal uh guy who like uh works out in a gym and is a mechanic by day and a crime fighter at night, or the Superman where it's like there's this alien who comes to Earth and he has to charge up from the sun and blah 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 blah, like where they took aspects of the characters but creating something new. No, this is Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, blah blah blah. So um and this is the problem I'm having with it, and I think I don't know. You're about to say something about the dark side, the fact that it's a universe created by Darkseid. Um, like it's a at the same, it's like it's well written, but at the same time, it's a marketing gimmick. Like, is this going to last? Are the absolute books going to go on forever and ever? Probably not. This is going to last as long as they're making money, and then they'll kill them off and they'll fold aspects of it into the main continuity, but it'll just be gone. That's my prediction, because again, I've been reading comics for a long time and I've seen stuff like this come and go. How many times has DC been rebooted? This is the first time they've rebooted it in parallel with their current books. It's not like they rebooted to the absolute universe and killed all the current books. They kept the
Right.
current books going, and just like the ultimate universe for Marvel, the absolute universe for DC. It's like, oh, here's a separate universe that we're rebooting it. Unlike the new 52 and the all new and however many times they've rebooted the DCU, especially in the last 2 decades. But I digress. But again, like the ultimate universe ended, and then they brought it back again. Because I feel like they were like, oh, look at all the success DC's having. We can do the same thing again.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Do you think this is going to be the new status quo? Do you because you brought up Darkseid, so what do you think? Is this just going to be like whatever the means to the end the Darkseid had? It's just, and then it'll fold into the main unit. What do you think?
No, dude, I think this is profound with the sales numbers. The fact that DC is dominating right now. No, I think that they're going to keep this going.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
in the end, that means like Darkseid wins. So like real life has made it so that Darkseid kind of like proved himself right, right? He made this absolute universe. If you would have told me, oh, we're gonna make a Batman movie, but he's not gonna have both his parents didn't die, and he's not rich. We're gonna make a Superman movie, but he's like powered by these nanites. Oh, and our Wonder Woman, she's gonna be like trained in hell. Like, I would have never have thought any of this would have worked, but it did create a new story with the low barrier of entry. It's selling like crazy, and that in the end, I do think they're going to keep this a while longer, at least longer than they originally intended, which is kind of funny because this is Darkseid's world, and he's like being proven right here by
I
us real humans.
I think you're right, and in that sense, um, and I do kind of think and maybe fear a little bit that I don't know if fear is the right word, but eventually it's going to be like, oh, well, everyone loves these books. The next Batman movie will be absolute Batman. The next Superman movie will be absolute Superman because the books are,
Oh,
and then what does that mean for the DCU? I don't know, but um and we're I mean, and again, that's also something that's of quite a few years down the road. It's not like they're not going to stop everything they're doing going, "Oh, Absolute's doing well, hit while the fire's hot," because that's not how Hollywood works, unfortunately.
yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's cool. I think that anything that brings any kind of interest back into comics is cool. I kind of worry a little bit too of the speculator market of people going, "Oh, well, people love these books. Let me read let me buy the books because they're going to be worth money one day." And it's like that's not how it works anymore, but we'll see. Oh, we'll see if it keeps going. I mean, we're a year into it now and it's still doing really well. So
Yeah.
you know, we'll see where we are. Maybe we'll look back in 6 months and see where the sales numbers are for these books. Um, Speaking of DC and continuity and movies, the Batman, which isn't in the DC continuity, but they are making a sequel to it. It is confirmed that Scarlett Johansson and Sebastian Stan are joining the cast of the Batman 2. Now, this article here from Variety does not state who they're playing. There are rumors that I can't remember who Sebastian Stan is playing. He's the villains. I think they're both rumored to be playing villains in the movie, but obviously Bucky's not done in the MCU, so I don't think he's leaving one universe to join another. But of
Right.
course, Black Widow is dead in the MCU. But what do you think? Are you like? I mean, this news just came out. We don't know anything about it. I'm going to see if I can find the rumor. But what do you think about them joining the Batman?
I mean, it's actors and there's work. I don't quite understand the fascination with following Scarlett Johansson. I think or in general anybody that jumps from an MCU to a DCU role, it's commonplace now.
Okay, that's it. Harvey Dent is rumored who he's playing. Sorry.
Okay, sure. So it's really not remarkable to me. To me, these kind of stories are a little bit of a dud. I mean, if you were to say RD, but at the same time, if you were to say like Robert Downey Jr. like is going to play something in the DCU, that'd be okay, great, crap, or Chris Evans. So just Scarlett Johansson, she played Black Widow.
I hear she's playing Poison Ivy because she said she could play a tree.
Okay. That makes sense though.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
No, I'm sorry. Anyway, no, I agree. Like, they're actors, right? They're gonna play in movies. There's an old feeling in old Hollywood about getting typecast. But if you get typecast in comic book movies nowadays, you're kind of set anyway.
Yeah.
Um, like Harvey Dent could Sebastian Stan play a good Harvey Dent Two Face? Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I have no idea who Scarlett Johansson really could play. I was just like throwing that out there. Uh, the Poison Ivy thing is a joke, but I mean, if they're going to do a play on the Long Halloween, she would be the maybe Falcone's daughter. Um, but I think she's a little old for that role. So,
Yeah.
um, unless she plays Harvey Dent's wife from the Long Halloween, that could work. That would be interesting. But at the same time, then part of me is just like, I don't know about that because again, we're dealing with a young Batman. It's supposed to be early in his career, and if you're going to do the Long Halloween where it's the origin of Harvey Dent Two Face, is even Sebastian Stan too old to be playing a young Harvey Dent? You know,
Right. Right.
So I don't know. Don't know. We shall see.
I'm not even convinced the Batman 2 is even coming out.
I'm not convinced anything is coming out for DC at this point. There's still all the parts are in motion with them, with Netflix buying Warner Brothers and James Gunn trying to get the DCU off the ground still. I mean, yeah, Superman did okay and Supergirl's coming out, but even he said in a recent interview that things are in flux and he even said that this job was harder than he thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Basically he was kind of complaining like he wants to make movies. He never really wanted Kevin Feige's job because Kevin Feige doesn't really get to make movies. He's more oversees the whole thing
Yeah.
and he wanted to keep making movies. And it's like, well, yeah, like, and you got to make your choice. Like, you're going to make these movies or you're going to oversee a bunch of movies getting made, you know? And if you're just going to try to have a big, like, part in every movie that gets made, it's just going to be slow roll and it's going to lose steam really quick. So we shall see. We shall see. Yeah. And I agree. Like, it's weird that we live in a world where people get so excited about, oh, this actor was in this popular superhero movie is now going to be in this superhero movie, you know. But does it make sense to have a Batman in a separate universe when you're trying to get the DCU going?
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. What do you know? I don't know. What do you know? I think that's all the news we got to talk about. But if you, and man, we ran really long this week because we've been off. If you have any thoughts on the Batman and who these guys are playing and the DCU, let us know in those comments down below because we would love to hear from you. That makes our day.
Let us know if you think ScarJo could act as a tree.
She says she could. So, but it is that time. Ask that question we do every time we get together.
What did we learn on the show tonight?
Tell me, Don, what did you learn this week? Or do you have any recommendations or both?
Yeah, man, I learned that you give us 2 weeks off and we're going to come back and it's going to be a long show.
Yeah.
Oh, I learned that for sure. Recommendations. Well, boy, I will keep recommending this over and over. X-Men 97. I don't sit down and just watch it intently. When I get a minute, let me watch an episode. And boy, every time I'm just, even though I've already seen it, just superbly entertained. But outside of that, of course, Fallout, season 2 of Fallout is among us. and been watching that with the wife. It's a great show. I'm not really into the post-apocalyptic thing, but it's interesting. I never played any of the Fallout games because, again, when it comes to games and RPGs specifically, I'm not really into the post-apocalyptic thing. But the show is really good, really fun. Like it a lot. So I recommend season 2 of Fallout. If you haven't seen season 2, go see season 1 first, then see season 2.
Yes. All right. I learned that we can be off for 2 weeks and come back, and even though there's a playoff game, and since there's a playoff game going on, James doesn't like football. He'll watch us, but our usual viewers
Yeah.
either forgot we exist as a podcast or while watching Pittsburgh and
I know.
God, who are they playing?
Houston Texans.
The Texans beat up on each other. So
Yeah.
screw you guys. I'm going.
I know. Kassan wants the 2-hour episodes, and here we are.
Exactly. And yeah, I learned if we're not if we don't get together for 2 weeks, man, we can talk some crap. All right.
Talk some shit.
Talk some shit. I also learned that I need to redo my backdrop and find a better way to put it together. All right. Recommendations. I don't have anything.
I was totally wrong. It's New England and the Chargers. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I can see people. You know what? I will say that I could see people wanting to watch New England because it's New England. Ugh. Even though I don't care for them.
Mhm.
Let's see. What's the score? Oh, and of course they're winning in the third quarter. Oh, 3-9 in the third quarter. Baseball score. All right.
Yeah. I guess we're not missing much.
Now, I recommend you boycott football and watch us on Sunday nights.
That's right.
There you go. All right. Well, on that note, boys and girls, as always, thanks for watching. Don't let you get caught in the door. See you next time.
If you haven't done so yet, subscribe. It really keeps this podcast alive. Smash the like button if you please. It gives us what we need. Maybe leave a comment or two. It's a really nice thing to do. And what